Hello everyone, this is Matthew Vadney, your child's ELA teacher. I wanted to talk about prepositional phrases and how they're used. Just a quick reminder, what are prepositional phrases? Well, prepositional phrases begin with prepositions. Here is a chart of common prepositions. Take a look at them. Maybe hit the pause button and just read over the list. These are the most common prepositions. And as it says there, prepositions show how a noun or pronoun relates to another word or phrase in a sentence. It, in effect, connects a noun to the rest of the sentence, and it often talks about location or where. Okay? Now, obviously, these words start off with these preposition phrases begin with prepositions. Just be aware of the word to. If to can be a preposition, but only if it's followed by a noun. If it's followed by a verb, it becomes a completely different thing, and it's not a preposition. So just keep that in mind. Now, when we talk about prepositional phrases, what we're talking about is, again, let me just pick a phrase here. Let's say I wrote, the book on the shelf is by Hawthorne. Okay, period. All right, so how we find these phrases is we look for the preposition. There it is, on. Now, the phrase ends, the easiest way to find it is that it's a noun that comes right after the preposition. In this case, it's shelf. That's where the phrase ends. So, on the shelf is the prepositional phrase. Now, these phrases have two different functions. There's the adjective, got to work on my spelling, the adjective phrase, and then there's the adverb phrase. Okay, so why don't we talk about adjective phrases? So let's go to another page here. Okay, so adjective phrases. These are prepositional phrases that describe nouns, and they usually come right after the noun they are describing. For example, let's go back to that book. The book with the green cover is by Hawthorne. I need to work on my spelling. Okay, so here we have our phrase. There's the preposition. The phrase ends with the first noun that comes after it. And between the preposition and that first noun that comes after is the phrase, with the green cover. Well, this whole phrase is describing a noun, like all adjectives do. Okay? And so, and again, notice the phrase comes after the word it describes. It doesn't always have to be like that, but at least for our lessons, it's most often going to be right after the word it describes. This isn't too hard because a lot of people understand that this is really just another way of saying the green covered book is by Hawthorne. Okay? So it's really just saying the same thing, except it's using a preposition to do it. Okay, now then there's the adverb phrase, and this is where it gets a little bit trickier, almost to the point where it's hard for me to come up with examples. So, adverb phrases. Adverb phrases pretty much function what adverbs do. Remember that adverbs describe the action, they describe adjectives, and even other adverbs. But the most common use of adverb phrases is to describe actions. That is, to describe the verb, how or where or when something is happening. Okay? So, adverb phrases, let's get rid of this. Adverbs tell us information like how, when, where, how long, or how many. guess I need to work on that. There. And concerning a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay. So why don't we look at an example? Okay. Here's a good example. We played cards after dinner. Now you might say, well, Mr. Vadney, there's a preposition. Oh, I guess I forgot to change my little thing. You're thinking, Mr. Vadney, there's a preposition. There's the noun. That's after it. Okay, there's the whole phrase, after dinner. It's coming right after a noun, so that must be an adjective phrase. Nope, because is after dinner really about cards? No. In fact, what is it about? It's about when they played. And so that's what makes it an adverb phrase. Okay? How about an example with describing how? How about she sang with joy? Okay, well, let's find our preposition. That's what you usually do. Find the phrase first. There's our preposition. The first noun after it is joy. With joy makes the whole phrase. And what is it telling us? It's telling us not about she, it's telling us how she sang. And so that makes it an adverb. Now keep in mind that we can actually, while you can do this with adjective phrases, it's even more true with adverb phrases. These can float around. They can actually go anywhere in the sentence. Because I easily could have said, with joy, she sang. And again, all I did is move the phrase to, oops, I keep on changing my little thing here. Let's get rid of that. Here's our prepositional phrase. And now it's still describing the verb. It just started with the sentence. Notice that, however, if the phrase is in front of the subject, you're going to want to throw in a comma there. Okay? Well, that's how we use prepositional phrases to either explain or describe a noun, or we actually use it to tell when, how, when, where, how long, or how many. And one more, forgot one more, to what extent an action or characteristic quality is. Okay? Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. Take care.